Okay, it's still Carla, or Changing 56, and it's still June the 19th, 2016. This is part 2. I'm going to talk about my caregiving jobs and just kind of the rest of my life, what's been going on. For a little over 2 years now, I've been working with a couple. Both of them have dementia. She has Alzheimer's, and his was just a dementia. And as the time passed by, their disease progressed. They still were not in a really bad place, but some things happened. I kept telling their children that they needed 24/7 care, and they just kind of, oh, they're fine, they'll be okay, they go to bed early, they blah blah blah. Well, that they were like the ostrich sticking their head in the sand. I knew something was going to happen. So I'm trying to think. It happened maybe before I went to the beach the last time. So maybe in March sometime. I came in one morning at 7 o'clock, and Buford met me at the door, and he said, "Can you come help me?" And I said, okay. So I go in the bathroom, and there is Louise in the bathtub, and she can't get out. She's gotten in the bathtub, and I won't go into the reasoning behind all of this, but she's gotten in the bathtub and she forgot how to get out, plus she didn't have the strength to get out. He tried to lift her out. Not good. It could have turned out really bad. I mean, if he had lifted and fallen backwards, both of them could have been hurt. But I just thought he strained his back. But I could tell once, and I had to call 911 to get her out of the bathtub because I knew I couldn't get her out of the bathtub. So once we got her out, I knew that he was in major pain. So I called his daughter and I said, "I'm taking him to the ER." Long story short, he had a fractured vertebrae between 4 and 5. Between 1 and 2. It was higher than 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is where my issues are. So he was in a lot of pain. He couldn't remember what he did. He didn't know why he hurt his back, and you couldn't get him to stop doing things. He thought he needed to help her, and you tell him you've hurt your back, and he didn't remember that. We gave him pain meds, but he didn't need to stay on the pain meds, and eventually things kept getting better. But at that point, we went to 24/7. We got new caregivers in there, and so there was somebody there all the time, which was good, but it was also an extra expense. And both of their spouses had died, and they were married 13 years, or they married 13 years ago, and their children really did not get along. So they wouldn't talk to each other. It's a long story, and it was an ugly story. What happened was his children decided they weren't going to deal with it anymore, and they live in the Columbus, Georgia, Phoenix City, Alabama area. They came and got him and took him to a memory care unit there. That left her at home. She didn't know why he was gone. She was very upset. She really thought that he went with another woman. He was 87. She's 85. Alzheimer's. She just didn't get it. She cried. It was a very, very stressful time, because I was there the majority of the time, because her daughters could not really afford the 24/7 care without his income. So I was staying during the day and sometimes at night, and her daughter was trying to supplement at night, but she couldn't stay every night and work. So I was carrying the biggest part of the load. So they finally decided they had to move her to a nursing home. And she left May the 25th, and I thought, okay, I'd worked through all this. I'm going, how am I going to survive? I do get my teacher's retirement, and that is great, okay? And it pays the bills, but there's nothing extra. I mean, nothing to go anywhere or do anything. I was able this year to go to Nashville to the WFSLA meet and greet, and it's wonderful. Maybe I'll talk about that in a little bit. I've been to the beach several times this year. I've been able to do some things that I've never been able to do before, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going, how am I going to do this? Back up a little bit. In January, my former high school choir director at church, and he also was choir director at the church that I go to now, but he's retired, fell and broke his leg. And he's just been somebody that's been very special in my life. My father died over 30 years ago, and Jim's just been there, a great father figure, a great role model. And he broke his leg, and his wife didn't get around real good, and he called and said, could I help them? Well, I was still working full time, and I said, I'll do as much as I can. And he got better, and she got better, and they've been, you know, he'd been in and out of the hospital and rehab and different things. But as it turned out, I mean, like 2 days after I quit working, he was back in the hospital, and then I had to take care of her again. And this time it's been just nuts. In the past 4 weeks, he's been in the hospital twice and in rehab twice. He's in rehab again now, trying to get his strength back, and we'll go home again on Thursday. So, and his wife, she has fibromyalgia. She's replaced everything that can be replaced: shoulders, knees, hips, and she's always in pain. So I've been trying to help them, and I've had no set schedule. You know, I need some structure back in my life. That's one reason why eating has been very difficult. You know, it's like she'll call and she needs this, or she needs me to come, and I'm just kind of been up in the air and, you know, eating crap. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. I've been eating crap, and I know I've got to get back. But I also know in order to do that for me, I have to have a plan. I have to, you know, I've got to be able to see it and know what I'm going to eat, clean my house out and have all that stuff gone, and just really go back by the rules. And I know that's what I've got to do, so that's what I'm working towards. Now, as far as my future with them, I'm not really sure. I plan to go in July. I sell 31. If you know what 31 is, it's we sell bags and purses and household organizing things. If you want to know about it, I would love to tell you. I love 31. I sell that. I could really start working my 31 business, and I think I might be okay just doing some things here and there. I helped a lady last week. Her mother is 99. She will be 100 in July, still lives by herself, does everything for herself, takes no medication. She's just amazing. But her daughter, you know, makes sure she's got one hot meal every day, and she had to be out of town, so I just took care of that, taking her meals. So, you know, a few things like that added in, and then I will be working this fall, I hope, again with AEA, which is the Alabama Education Association. So those things will probably be okay. And in August, when I do turn 60, I can start drawing my husband's Social Security. And when I plan to go ahead and start drawing mine at 62. When I get there, you know, things I think will be okay. I think I'll be fine. But just on my teacher retirement right now, things are not fine. So I need to find something again. And you know, it's really funny. God does provide. He's provided me with jobs the past 3 or 4 years, and every time when something went away, something else came in its place. And it's just like you know, I really didn't have any money, like cash money today. And I walked into my small group or Sunday school this morning, and one of the ladies said, I have $20 for you. I bought a bag, and I need to give you that money. And I'd really forgotten about it. So there was money for lunch, and I get paid this afternoon. And, you know, so you know, I just have to remember that God is there, and He will take care of me as long as I am faithful to Him. So that's where I am right now, trying to do things. Also, for my birthday, my cousin and I are planning to go back to the beach, so I'm real excited about that. I would really like to move at least closer to the beach, and I have relatives probably more there than I have here. I don't really have any family. I have cousins that live elsewhere, but both of my parents have died. My husband died, and I did not have any children. So I have kind of adopted all these other families, and they've adopted me. I plan to go visit